and check. All right, here we go. So doing some research on Gary Keller's Think Like a CEO, and I want to share some notes from what I was listening to over the weekend. A CEO always looks out over the landscape and asks, where are things going? It's a good question. Where are things going? And they are looking for the biggest view, the biggest answer they can possibly get. Now, here's the answer. The answer is be digital. Be digital and be connected. You want to be digitally based using a platform that is connected to your customers. You want to be digitally based using a platform that is connected to your customers. Build your business on a platform. There is a battle going on between physically based businesses and digitally based businesses. The physical based business wakes up every day and asks, what's the least amount I need to do digitally in order to protect my physical foundation? And the digital-based business wakes up every day and asks, what's the least I have to do physically in order to kick your digital butt? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go right back to the question that Gary started with, which is a CEO always looks out over the landscape and asks, where are things going? It's a great question. And here's what I know. Well, this is going to get tricky. You guys tell me, and just remember, I can't see me, which is awkward, only because I don't know if I'm showing you what I want to show you. I want to show you this flip chart. Can you guys see this?
I don't know if we can read it or not.
Okay, let me zoom in close. How's that?
A little bit more.
How's that?
Maybe you say what it is inside. So
all right, no worries. So this is the 4-quadrant model from future positive, from present positive to future positive.
Got that.
Now, present positive, business is good. I'm selling homes. The market is good. My sphere of influence and my repeat customers or past clients are sending me repeat and referral business. In other words, everything is good, right? Present positive. Now, we want to go straight from present positive to future positive. Now, future positive in this conversation is I want to double my income. I want to build a business versus having a real estate job. And I want to create passive income that pays for my cost of living. That sounds pretty awesome. So what I would encourage each of you to do is to create your own present positive, future positive model and describe what you want in that future positive model. In other words, I think my head's chopped off, which is really weird. Okay, that's better. Which describes exactly where you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. If I could show you how you could double the amount of money that you're making within the next 12 to 24 months, would you want to do that? If I could show you how you could build a successful business versus having a real estate job, would you want to do that? And if I could show you how you could create passive income that pays for your cost of living, would you want to do that? Now, everybody wants to go straight from present positive to future positive, and it doesn't work that way. First of all, we have to look at present negative. In other words, we'll go back to the GROW model that we talked about on Friday. These are the obstacles that stand between you and future positive. And
tilt the screen down a little bit.
Tilt this?
Need to tilt the camera down a little bit. Great, perfect.
Okay, well, my head's chopped off, but that's okay.
We know
guys
what you
don't
look
wanna see-
like.
You guys don't want to see me anyways. You want to see this.
Actually,
All right.
if you put it on speaker view, it was showing perfectly. Not you, John. If we as the participants choose speaker view,
Yeah.
Right, I see that, but still it was cutting the bottom.
All right. This is a temporary setback. I promise we'll have the whiteboard back tomorrow and I'll have Zoom completely set up correctly on my computer. And thanks for hanging in there with me. All right, present negative. We are in the middle of a worldwide health crisis. It's a fact. And this health crisis will more than likely lead to an economic crisis. Again, fact. I'm using third-party bolt-on technology that is costing me anywhere from a couple $100s a month to several $1,000s a month. And my technology is not connected. Now, so far, that doesn't feel like a very big deal because so far, Blockbuster is still open and Netflix hasn't taken over. Now, if we don't pay attention to present negative, here's where we're going, future negative. And in future negative, you are exactly in the same place you are today. In other words, nothing changes. In other words, a year from now, you haven't doubled your income. You still have a real estate job. You're not making money unless you're working. You have zero leverage. And you're making the same amount of money. Now, if you're currently making $100,000 a year and doubling your income means you go from $100,000 to $200,000 a year, well, then that means a year from now, if you don't pay attention to this, you're going to end up here, which is future negative, which means you're making exactly the same amount of money that you're making today, which is okay. It's $100,000, which isn't bad. However, what would you have done with the additional $100,000 had you made it? What are you not doing now because you didn't make the money? Now, what if the market shifts and your sales actually go down and now you're at 50% of what you were? In other words, your income is 50% less than what it was. Now you're in debt. Oh, by the way, over here in present negative, you don't have any money in savings. In other words, you don't have a 6-month security blanket to cover you because you're living check to check. So when the market goes down and you're making less money, you're not prepared to continue to support your family. Now you're in debt, which eventually leads to now you're broke. And my question would be, how does that feel? Now, hopefully the answer is it feels painful because what am I using? I'm using pain versus pleasure. We're more motivated by avoiding pain than we are by going towards pleasure. So which means if I can paint a future negative picture for you that is painful enough, you'll pay attention to present negative. Otherwise, you're going to ignore present negative because present positive feels pretty good. I'm comfortable. Things are going okay. I don't need to make any changes. I'm selling houses. My sphere of influence is giving me leads. What's all this technology conversation? What is the fourth industrial revolution conversation? What the heck are you talking about? I don't see it. Things are good. Present positive. I'm ignoring present negative. All right. So Gary goes on to say, the digital-based and the fourth industrial revolution is going to win every time. And what he's talking about here is there's a battle going on between the digital-based business and a physically-based business. And there's a battle going on, and what he's saying is the digitally-based business, the fourth industrial revolution, is going to win every time. The best businesses of the future are going to be the best blend of digitally based and physically enhanced. So what is he saying there? He's saying that we're not going to go, never going to go to a, Wayne, you're like the only person in my screen right now and you're doing this. So don't be bored.
Comfortably.
Don't be bored.
I'm never bored with you.
Okay, thank you. So what he's saying is, now I have to go back to where I was. In this battle, we're never going to go to a world where it's 100% digital. In other words, nobody's going to swipe left to buy a house. We're always going to need you. Now, in the battle between Blockbuster and Netflix, we could go to a 100% digitally based business. In the battle between retail and Amazon, I don't know. Can we go 100% digital? Will Amazon eventually replace all retail stores? Yes or no? I don't
No.
think so.
No, it can't.
No. I
People
don't,
always
because
need that touchy-feely.
Exactly.
guys, I want to go to Nordstrom's and I want to try it on,
You
right?
want to touch it and feel it before you have to ship it back.
I think so. So in real estate, I can guarantee you that digital will never replace physical. But here's what will happen. The businesses that survive, I pay attention because I said survive, and I mean that. The businesses, and I'm talking real estate businesses, the real estate businesses that survive, the real estate office of the future will be the best blend of digitally based and physically enhanced. Now, here's the question. In this battle between, now we're talking real estate again, in this battle between digitally based real estate companies and physically based real estate companies, here's the battle. How fast can the incumbent? The incumbent is Keller Williams, guys. The incumbent is Keller Williams, #1 in sales, #1 in closed volume, largest real estate company in the world. But don't get excited. Don't think that's good, because there's another part to this where we're not doing as well as we should or could. And here's the question. How fast can the incumbent, the company that has market share, build the digital platform versus how fast can the disruptor who has a digital platform gain market share? You guys get that? So talk to me. Take yourself off mute. Share your ahas. What are you hearing?
So, John, did I not see an email that came out from Richard? At the bottom part of his email, he said things like Redfin is down 48%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was all the digital competitors and
Mm-hmm.
I showings and everyone who goes after us that's digital.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is sufficiently down.
Yep, they are.
That makes us and the physical people that have to touch it, feel it, and take everyone in up.
Yeah, however, these companies that you're referring to are backed by investors
Unlimited cash.
with billions and billions of dollars. So,
Hey, Shane.
however, they don't have bottomless pockets. If they did, Compass wouldn't have just called for a $1,700 cash call, asking every real estate agent in the company to pay Compass $1,700 in order to stay with the company.
Yeah, I saw that.
We wouldn't see the layoffs that we're seeing. So, but there's still a battle going on, Wayne. There is still, and I'll just be honest, and I'll say the disruptors are Compass, EXP. They're doing a good job, by the way. They are. We have to pick up our game when it comes to that.
So I was going to make a comment, which
Yep.
is there was a time where we were not #1. We were #3 and #2. And number one was looking at us saying, hey, we got it.
Hmm.
Question that I would ask is, how bad do they want it that they're going to come after and challenge us? And we, as being #1, I hate to quote Avis, but we got to try harder. We got to continue to go, God bless you. We got to continue to bust our chops and continue to do what we do best in order to be able to stay on top and understand that #2, #3, and #5 are always going to try and knock us down.
Yeah. It's a delay. It's the David versus Goliath conversation. when you're David, you're always working harder in order to become number one. And once you've defeated Goliath, then you can get a little bit complacent. And before you know it, there's another David coming after you. And we've got to go back to thinking the way we thought when we were not the number one company in the industry. Now, for you guys, because I want this to be about you. Hold on. I want this conversation to be about you, not about companies. So I'm pivoting the conversation. Your future as a real estate agent. Talk about that, not Keller Williams. Talk about your future as a real estate agent, because there's people on the call that are not with Keller Williams, and I'm cool with that. I want them to be on the call. And what are you hearing? What do you think the future of real estate looks like? I want to hear your opinion. I think I know what it looks like. I want to know what you think. Alex?
I think that it is going to be an integration between the touchy-feely, because that's extremely important in our business,
Yep.
as the digital. And I think, or the way I look at it, is that the digital tools will only enhance my business and make me that much better. Additionally, besides those two, the third component is the education. It's up to me as a real estate agent to realize where I am lacking in education, and with today's digital technology, build it up.
D, that's funny. Thank you. I straightened my pen and D caught me. Alex, education. Would you rather log in and watch a video, or would you rather be a part of a live Zoom call like this?
Honestly, I would, and I don't know if it's possible or will be possible, I would prefer to be in a classroom setting at the Board of Realtors. Honestly, because I better interact and I have the ability to go ahead and do some.
Okay, so think about this for a moment. We're in a live classroom setting where the speaker is on Zoom with an audience in the room and an audience who's also participating via Zoom.
I like this better because there's interaction. It's going to keep me engaged, and it's not going. I'm not going to be distracted by something outside the environment. Sorry about that.
Okay. How about from the consumer's point of view, guys? What does the future of real estate look like? If you're buying a home, what do you want?
I wanted to piggyback with what Alex said about knowledgeable. And I think that if we need to be knowledgeable, I think we need to be even sharper than before, because the technology allowed our customer to be way more prepared, you know, when they're coming to us. And it's true for any profession. You know, how many of you are going to the doctor telling them what you think you have?
Oh, yeah. I love that.
I think that's, that makes them more knowledgeable, and also maybe they know better what they want as well. So it can go faster that way. So I like that too, you know, so you just need to be sharper.
So what I'm hearing you say is the consumer wants better tools and better technology that makes the home search process easier. I can find the right property looking at fewer properties because I'm looking at the right properties.
Yes.
Yes.
And of course they need to love and to like their, you know, real estate agent, and they will have that contact. But if the real estate agent don't provide easy tools,
yes,
that's it.
So my relationship is with you, Elsa, and I love you, Elsa, and I'm never going to work with anybody else until you don't have the technology that I want and demand in order to buy and sell real estate.
It's fair enough. I would do the same.
Yeah, we all would. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Yes.
So this morning on James Shaw, everybody was talking about what they had been, you know, tracking with listings over the last 3 days, the last 3 weeks, the last 30 days. And in some cases, it pretty much was a standard that there was a lot more going out, either canceled off the market or sold or pending than what's coming in. In every state, every city, they were talking about the fact there was almost 2 to 1, 3 to 1. There was no supply. And that's right now.
Yep.
Now, of course, what will happen in the next 3 months when things maybe get, even more difficult for some people who didn't have the money for 3, 4, 5 months to pay their bills? Well, that'll be a different market possibly. But right now there's a huge shortage of supply. So Joy listed a really nice property in Cypress Run on a lake with a pool, 4 bedrooms. Person that she was talking to was really excited about her idea of putting it on a really attractive price. We have 6 offers in 48 hours. Now, that just tells you the supply is extremely low. And this is a great opportunity for us to tell the people what they don't hear, which is that there's a great market right now for sellers if you do it right, if you have the right person representing you, if you have the right person communicating for you.
Good stuff. Love it.
Hey, John.
Yes.
So I had a closing on Friday with an attorney, and I had shared this story about the buffalo and the cows, and how buffaloes charge a storm and get to the other side faster, and cows sit so they're in it longer because they have to wait for it to pass.
It's true.
And it was funny because he does litigation, and he's like, I love that story. So when I was asking him for a video testimonial, he said, I asked him for a metaphor of what the transaction was like. And he said, well, there's 2 kinds of people, those that charge through and those that just sit and wait. And he said, us charging through, we got the house we wanted at a better price with better concessions, and it worked for us, versus sitting and just waiting. And so, and so it was just a great, I just reiterate what the last person said about educating people on what's in it for the, what's the possibility with the right information right
Love
now
it.
to really work for your favor.
Love it. Great job. Perfect. All right, guys, 2 more ahas, and then we're going to check out and get on the phone and start making calls.
Hey, John, one
Hey,
last
Jeff.
thing.
Yes.
1990s, I was hired to teach the conversion of the real estate books to computers, early 90s, mid 90s. And it was real difficult for some agents. They had those books for decades. And that book was their Bible in a way. It was kind of like they controlled the market. They knew all the inventory that was being printed in that book, but it was only every 2 to 3 weeks. And because of technology, the only way to update the book was to wait every 2 to 3 weeks, or they had something called loose sheets. And loose sheets was where they would fax you a new listing, just came on the market this weekend. So you either relied on a fax or you relied on the real estate book. Well, when we changed that and we hooked up to basic computers, which was DOS, no Windows, and people were like, this is just not going to happen. Nobody's going to want to do this. It's going to be too difficult. Well, obviously, where are we now? And when Windows came, it was like a whole revolution. So in my opinion, you're right. You have to embrace the current and you have to prepare for the future.
Yeah. Good job, Jeff. Thank you. All right, guys. Monday morning, TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. It's going to be a great week. Get on the phone, smile and dial, get those 20 contacts in today, get those 40 contacts in today. Don't ignore your sphere of influence. Don't ignore your past clients. Just because it's a carrot call and it doesn't necessarily mean immediate business, doesn't mean future business. Pay attention to those people, take care of those people, lead with care, lead with gratitude, bring value to every conversation. And in every conversation, ask, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell a home? Who do you know that I can help today? But you don't ask that question until you've brought value to the conversation first and you've offered to help them first. Call those for sale by owners, guys. Call the expired listings. There's going to be more for sale by owners, by the way, because what Jeff shared is true. There's a lack of inventory. And whenever there's a lack of inventory, you're going to see more for sale by owners. Pay attention to that. It's a great opportunity to pick up the phone and give them a call. What does a great buyer look like? Ask them that question. You guys know the response. And if you don't, come back tomorrow and I'll tell you. Make it a great day, everybody.
Thanks again, John, and happy anniversary. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy anniversary.